All right, welcome back. Today we are tackling something every new parent deals with, navigating that flood of friends and family who are all so excited to meet the new baby. And look, it's wonderful, but it can also be just so overwhelming. So let's get right into it. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You're so happy, you're so tired, and literally everyone you know is texting you, when can we come over? The thing is, there's no one right answer, but just understanding your options, that's the first step to figuring out what's right for you.
Okay, so let's break this down. Generally, new parents kind of fall into one of two camps. You've got the people who are ready for visitors early, they love the company, they want to share the excitement, and then you have those who really need to create a private little bubble to rest, bond, and, keep all the germs away. Neither one is right or wrong. They're just completely different ways of handling a massive life change.
So let's start with the first approach, what we're calling the open door. This is for those parents who feel pretty energized and are just ready to share that new baby joy with everyone almost right away. You know, it might sound a little crazy, but for some new moms, that time in the hospital is fueled by this huge adrenaline rush. You're just on cloud nine, you're not really sleeping anyway, and your brain is just firing on all cylinders. And when you're in that state, having visitors can actually feel really good. But here's the thing. This open door policy isn't just a free-for-all. It works best under a very specific set of conditions. We're talking about a pretty straightforward delivery, that crazy post-birth energy, and maybe the most important thing of all, guests who just get it. They keep their visits short, they bring you snacks, and they totally respect health boundaries, like that example of a sick relative who knew to wear a mask. That's key. Okay, but then you get home. Then everything changes. That hospital adrenaline, it disappears fast. And the exhaustion just hits you like a ton of bricks. So even if you're keeping that open door policy, this is the moment where having clear, firm ground rules becomes completely non-negotiable. And this is what those rules look like in real life. You actually schedule the visits. You're super upfront about what you're comfortable with, and you keep things short. A really great way to think about it is that a quick chat with another adult can actually feel like a little moment to recharge. But you gotta have hard lines. Absolutely nobody who is even sniffing gets through the door, and any rules about vaccines, you need to communicate those way before the baby even arrives. All right, let's flip the coin and talk about the complete opposite, the private bubble. This is just as valid, and honestly, for a lot of people, it's a totally necessary choice to just hold off on visitors for a while and cocoon as a new family. For so many families, the idea of having anyone over, even your closest relatives, is just too much. Their number one priority is to be secluded, to heal, and to have that quiet time to bond. And there are some really powerful reasons why they feel that way. A tough or scary birth experience is a huge one. Or maybe there was a longer hospital stay for mom or baby, or there's a real need to be extra careful about germs. But you know what? Sometimes it's not even about a big, specific event. It's just a gut feeling, an overwhelming need for privacy and recovery. And that is more than okay.
But here's the thing. Choosing a private bubble doesn't mean you're cutting yourself off from help. Not at all. It's really just an invitation for your friends and family to get a little creative and show their love in a way that respects your space. The support just looks a little different.
So how can you help someone who's in that bubble? It's actually really simple. Drop off a meal on their doorstep. Send a text saying, hey, need anything from the store? The absolute golden rule here is to offer help without any expectation of being invited in. Seriously, support without pressure is the best gift you can possibly give. So we've looked at the open door, and we've looked at the private bubble. But the real takeaway here isn't about choosing a plan from a menu. It's about learning to listen to yourself during a time of just profound change. And that leads us to this. A postpartum boundary, it's not about being mean or difficult. It's a tool. It's a limit you set to protect yourself. It's a shield for your body, for your mind, and for your emotions during one of the most vulnerable times of your entire life. This right here, this is the emotional heart of this whole thing. You are going to feel things that make zero logical sense. You might want company one minute and then need total silence the next. The best advice is to just trust those feelings. Lean into them, even if you can't explain them. They're your compass.
And let's be real, it is an emotional roller coaster for a reason, right? You can feel all of these things at once. It can be amazing and exhausting and frustrating and scary and exhilarating, sometimes all in the same 10 minutes. All of those feelings are valid. They're complex and they're always changing.
Okay, so knowing you need to set boundaries is one thing, but actually doing it, that's a whole other ballgame. So let's wrap this up with a simple, practical toolkit you can use to put this all into action. First step, talk about the big stuff, like vaccine rules before the baby is even here. It saves you so much guilt later on. Second, check in with yourself constantly. It is totally fine to want visitors in the morning and then change your mind by the afternoon. Third, get your partner on your team. They need to be your advocate, your enforcer, even when your needs don't make perfect sense to anyone else. And finally, give yourself grace. It is 100% okay to say, not today.
And please remember this, that postpartum time is so short, it is so intense, it is so precious, and it's a time you have to protect for yourself, for your baby, for your new family. You're never going to get these first few weeks back.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Whether you're the one expecting or you're supporting someone who is, what is one conversation you can have today with your partner, with your parents, with your friends that can help protect that future peace? Thanks for tuning in.